It's supposed to be 40 degrees today, and I'm a little bit concerned because I'm wearing jeans, but it's alright. We've got a few things to do, so we're up and at it early and we're going to get going. While we are on the road and we do have a little bit of time, I want to talk briefly about some things that everyone talks about being the new year and everything, and that's goals. You've probably heard all your friends saying, you know, it's New Year, so New Year, New Me, and all that kind of stuff, and they'll tell you all about what they're going to do this year. Half the time they never do it, but they'll tell you anyway because they feel good and everyone else is doing it, so they think, well, why don't I do it too? Which is fair enough. It's a great time of the year to do that, to be honest. Like, everyone else is doing it. You're in the right environment to probably set some goals and do some, you know, do some cool stuff, maybe plan some things. In school and maybe at universities and maybe with our friends and all that kind of thing, we're taught to use SMARTER goals, the acronym SMARTER. Now, it's been that long since I've used that I forget what it stands for. I think the first one's specific and the second one's measurable. It's measurable. Yeah, when you sit down and you write that goal down and you mentally commit to it, and then you hang it up on the wall, then you tell your friends, your family and everything, you've got so much stuff holding you accountable for that. So if you don't do that, you're fucked. If you don't achieve that goal, whatever it is, in hindsight, you've kind of failed. This leads me to another big point. And this is another reason why my personal goals aren't really specific, and I don't spend a lot of time sitting down, writing them down, pinning them on the wall, and then telling everyone what I've got to do this year. I have a close group of people who influence me, who mentor me, who teach me things that no one else could teach me. What usually happens with most people is that they're going to write this thing down that they want to do. When they've committed to that within themselves, there's always a time frame involved. An example is they might say, right, in 6 months, I want to make 10 grand. Or in 6 months, I want to quit my job. Or in 6 months, I want to maybe have another job. When you commit to that time frame, the only issue is that you're going to come across some external factors. You're going to come across things that aren't in your control. And that leads me to the other part. Once you've written down that thing and you commit to achieving that goal or whatever it is that you've written down, the clock's starting to tick. And what most people find is they're kind of just starting from scratch when they set off. So the main problem that can arise is that you may not have the momentum to really kickstart you in until about the halfway mark. What does this all mean? Effectively, you've just cut the time that you have towards achieving that in half. Then what usually happens is, as you get to the point in time, it's coming up, the 6 month mark is coming up, you're worried you haven't quit your job, you haven't made the 10 grand, okay, you haven't finished uni, you haven't retired, whatever it is, it hasn't happened yet, and you kind of might get to the point where you think, how am I going to do this? How on earth am I going to do this? I thought this would happen, I knew that in my head this would happen, I committed to this happening, there's no way that it could happen now, and now the anxiety kicks in. I swear to God, it was not this bright at home. Where did that sun come from? I'm just going to change over. Oh, shit. These sunnies are a prescription. My eyes are dreadful. They are so bad. Like, I can't see shit. And I've had that problem since I was like 6 years old. I don't know why. My parents thought I was spastic because I couldn't read properly. It wasn't that I couldn't read, I just couldn't fucking see the board. Where were we? As time starts ticking and starts to get away from you, the brain naturally focuses on the part that you haven't done. This unconsciously happens. You're not really aware that this is happening. So let me put that in English. As you get closer to the goal and you start to come to the realization that you might not have achieved things as quickly as you wanted to, your brain is going to start or focus around that part of it, which causes anxiety, which gives you less of a chance of actually doing what you set out to do in the first place. Put the sunnies on and it's dark. Work that out. How does this all tie in? Well, for me personally, I've experienced that as well, and multiple times, and I can tell you it is the most frustrating thing where you get to that fucking 6-month mark or 12-month mark and the clock's ticking and you haven't got much time left to do what you want to do, and then all of a sudden it's gone and you just say like, what the fuck just happened? You feel like a half failure. You just think, wow, I couldn't do it, and then all these other thoughts come into your mind and you think, wow, am I not good enough? What did I do wrong? Was it my fault? Just scratch that, because I'm going to give you a bit of an alternative with something to work upon. The truth is, if you're really committed to something, really committed to it, you will naturally find ways to achieve it. With me personally, I started my whole journey when I was 16. I always wondered if there was another way to earn money without having to go to work 9 to 5. The reason I asked that question was because I hated going to school from 9 till 3. How's it going to handle going till 5 o'clock, going 2 extra hours a day with the job? I didn't even like school. So I focus on creating wealth, for the want of a better word. And ever since I started focusing on it, my whole life changed. I learned some stuff that for a 16-year-old I wasn't supposed to know. I learned how to invest in shares. I learned a lot about property. I learned a lot about mindset and how your mind can really affect you. I learned all this stuff, and all that contributed to propelling me into the stage where I am now. And when I look back on the journey, that's a really great thing. What I'm trying to say is, goals are a really great thing, but they're almost an elementary thing because it doesn't take into account the whole situation. If you go and you create a goal, like I said, you're going to get the time restraint. It's going to be very specific. There's going to be factors out there which you can't control. There's going to be issues always arise. You can never account for these issues. You can't really hedge your bets because you don't even know what's going to happen yet. That's the truth of it. You can do everything in your control, but sometimes things just don't happen the way we planned, and that's a natural part of life. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm getting at right now is, don't always use the goal as a one specific way of perhaps creating success. Don't just refer to the goal, the way that we were taught in school and that our parents taught us and our teachers taught us, and don't do that. That's not the most efficient way. The most efficient way is to focus and visualize. If you're truly passionate about doing something and making a change in your life, naturally you're going to follow that. And when you start to follow that naturally, when it starts to become a part of your life to focus on that, then you just double the probability of achieving results because it's now part of you to do that. So all these things add up. It really makes a lot of sense. The most powerful part of this is you will get to the point of focus and visualization of where you want to be, just naturally within yourself, that you will surround yourself in an environment which won't let you fail. You'll surround yourself with the people and the education that's necessary for you to do what you want to do. And that is an amazing thing, because you will start to see results if you do that, no question. If you want to be a millionaire, that is how you do it, hands down, no question. I've not found a better system in how to do it. So to wrap this all up, this year in 2K18, 2018, 2018, whatever you want to call it, this year, this is the 4th of January today. It's not, it's actually the 5th. This is the 5th of January today, and to get started with your whole year, to kickstart your results, focus on something that you're passionate about. Focus on something that you want to make happen in your life. Just focus on it. Just surround your thoughts with it, because naturally there will be things you do that propel you towards that. Alright, just a bit of an update. We are on, there's no one else here. I am on the M1 motorway going to Sydney, and I've just been overtaken by so many cars because I was just going so slow, because I was like talking to you guys. So I've just kind of cranked up the speed. What I've noticed is I was still getting overtaken. Still. So people in a hurry. Like, where are they going? Okay, really low on fuel, so we're pulling in here. And we are filling up. The Lambo needs a drink. This car is not actually a Lamborghini. We just call it for the Lambo, because ever since I got it, when I was like, how old was I? When I was 17, it's been called the Lambo. And I can't upgrade it yet because it's the Lambo. And that's the sole reason, which is, I know that sounds hilarious, but it's the truth. It's just like, it's mine. It's my first Lambo. So